What's up, fellow lords of gaming, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to jump into this V990 update for Marvel Future Fight, and we're going to start off with looking at my man Thanos. Oh my god, let's jump right in. So this is going to be a very divisive update. I think for some people, I've already seen some content creators complaining about the update, and then others, you know, cherishing the update. And I've made my way over to the forum boards, and it seems like there's also mixed reactions to it as well. I'm going to tell you why I'm excited about the update, and then you can kind of, you know, take that from where it is that you want to. Number one, I'm happy that we've got a little reprieve here from tier 4s and you know all the stuff that's been thrown at us with characters and stuff like that, and we basically get a little moment to settle down. Number two, I think that this is a good idea to basically look at hopefully the direction of where the game is going in terms of fidelity of graphics and the care that's being given to some of the development that's here. Not namely the problems that we're having with the server right now, because we'll talk about that in a second. But let's jump in by looking at what I'm talking about. I did this previously before in another video, and he's one of my favorite characters to kind of like pull from the bag, you know, and talk about Sabretooth. I remember when they introduced Sabretooth to the game and they introduced his Brotherhood. This was his original uniform, so we basically got the Brotherhood of Mutant uniform, right? And then they came out at some point with this uncanny, you know, Avengers uniform, which was like way toned down, and then we finally have this the normal Ultimate uniform of Sabretooth, which was even more toned down, and it's kind of the perfect summation of what I mean. So looking back at this Brotherhood of Mutants uniform, you can notice, even with the most recent uniform he has, the difference in terms of like detail, the graphics that are put in there. The art team definitely put in work on this uniform, and I remember when they released this uniform, I was so excited, hoping that this was going to be the direction that the game was going to go for, because you can look here, you can see from the hair to his beard and scruff to the mane and the ribbing on the uniforms and his hands, the detail in them, the claws, everything about this uniform just popped off the screen for me. And it was just like, yeah, this is where we need to be going, in the direction we need to be going. Fast forward, you can see just from the Sabretooth uniform, that's not exactly where we went, right? Now we're making sort of a form to return, meaning when we saw the old King Thanos, I know they're calling it the Thanos Wins uniform, I thought we were just going to get an upgrade to the, you know, the Obsidian King uniform. Like, you know, that's literally what I thought we were getting. It was just going to be old King, you know, Obsidian King Thanos with his uniform here, and then we were just going to get, that's what I thought we were getting, right? But no. You can look at the difference in textures on his face and the details on his face, and you can see the difference in colors, the difference in, you know, facial structure. You can look at his beard and you can see the textures there. Not the Captain Lou Albano part, but you know, if you're an old guy like me, you know who Captain Lou Albano is, WWE wrestler. But down to like even some of the moving elements, like the Twilight Sword on fire, and the flames there, you know, looking at his cloak, everything on this uniform just pops. The ribbing, the textures and stuff like that, they're all there. It wasn't just a simple upgrade from the Obsidian King to the Thanos Win. There was more thought basically put behind this uniform, and it looks absolutely amazing. Right now, buyer beware, this is going to be a 1500 crystal uniform, and then it's going to cost you probably about 35-40 million in gold to basically level this character, the uniform up. And a little bit on the downside for me is that I consider this uniform to be a 3 out of 5 in uniform options. Iron Man, Back to Basics, Spider-Gwen, and then Professor X, not necessarily so bad, but then we get Hyperion and Doctor Strange. It's just weird to have that Doctor Strange, especially so recently with the other Doctor Strange uniform. And then the Hyperion, it is his most recent, but it's just like really irrelevant. You're not really using the character other than for Shadowlands. And then I have to give them credit. Oh my god, the skills that they put out for these uniforms look absolutely amazing. I want to pay particular attention because I'm going to do another video individually for these characters, but I just want to pay attention to the 5th skill where he actually calls out the his younger version of Thanos inside here. So you can see like he opens up a portal, that Thanos comes in, he literally throws the Twilight Sword to his other Thanos, and they do work. Like, I mean, look, just if you're not seeing it, just look at it. The sword flips up in the air, goes to that Thanos, and then back to him. It's just absolutely amazing, in my opinion. The Spirit of Vengeance one, they kind of fall off on because, yeah, I get to see, you know, Ghost Rider coming in here, but it's like with all the animation and effects, he just kind of gets lost in there. It almost just looks like a asteroid kind of hits down or something like that. But yeah, that's one of my favorite pieces out of the Thanos skill pack there. The new uniform looks absolutely amazing, all right? So you would think that that's where it ends, but we get the introduction of Black Swan into the game. I haven't unlocked her yet because, you know, you guys aren't supporting the channel in the way for me to basically be paying to unlock characters, especially the crystal cost to basically get to her. But you look again at a character like this and you look at the detail in the uniform that they have for her that she's wearing. I mean, the shadowing and shading on the black leather, all the way to the ribbing on just a very simple bra top that she basically has. There's a lot here in this character detail. The hair, like, yeah, you could tell they left the texture out, but even when you go down to her face, the face features and the eyes look, and I pointed this out to you guys. If you haven't read DC Comics in a while, go look at Darkseid's daughter. Her name is Grail, and I feel like that's where we got Black Swan from. You know, just saying. I mean, she was hanging out with Doctor Doom for a while, and then with the Mad Titan, and we all know the parallels between the Mad Titan and Darkseid, so it is there. And even for her, like, holy crap, the skills that they gave her, bar none, to me were just absolutely insane and amazing. Like, I mean, every skill that she has from 3, 4, and 5, they are just banger skills. Absolutely amazing looking skills. Kudos to these guys, right? So, you know, the uniforms are definitely popping. So you can see here a little bit better, like what I was talking about with her face. It's very clean. It's very good. You know, the bra top and everything else like that is very good. I think the only weakness of the, you know, the outfit is basically the tassels that are falling off from her arm, but you know, give or take how you feel about it, you know, it is what it is. Then we got 2 more uniforms, and I don't know necessarily where I stand on these additional 2 uniforms, but let's take a look at them really quickly. So the first one was Satana. So Satana is basically receiving her 2nd uniform, and it's a little play on it because it's the Angel version. So her and Angel basically switch places, but look at this uniform. Absolutely delicious. I'm talking about the shine on the dress, the little whatever you call it, it's the tapestry or whatever it is, like that sheen on the, you know, all the way up to the neck, the detail on the horns, her hair, the wings, everything about this uniform is just smack dab amazing. Even with the little static inside of her hands, this is a good looking uniform. Like, absolutely amazing, good looking uniform. You know, even if you were just sitting in the lane, like, hey, look, she's only getting a transcendence, so it is what it is, and you do have to pay for this uniform because it's going to cost you the 30 clever mischief tokens, which we'll go over here in a second. But her skills as well, absolutely amazing skills, particularly her 5th skill over here, which basically is a V-pad skill that has charm on it where she heals from. It looks absolutely gorgeous. So I'm going to do another video on these, but you know, like, it's absolutely bonkers looking skill. Does she pair up in terms of like that uniform basically being a, you know, absolute hit? I don't know yet because I haven't purchased it. I will, but we'll go over that in a minute. I'm really looking forward to the uniform. But again, this is a power up for the character regardless, because where she was sitting with this uniform, the Marvel Legacy before, is nowhere close to where this uniform is. So it's an absolute power up for the character. Then we get Angel, 1750 crystal uniform, because, you know, these are seasonal uniforms inside of here. I go back to looking at the detail. I think we sort of fall off with him just a little bit. Like the wings look kind of like the bone architecture of the wings just looks kind of plain, you know, but looking at his knee pads and everything that's connected to him besides the wings, I would have to say like they look really good. He definitely reminds me of like if we were playing a blood elf from, you know, World of Warcraft, but it looks good. It really does look good. Like he pops, you know. So I'm excited about the way these uniforms look. You can tell that the art team put in the work and basically said, hey, let's get after him. None of his skills necessarily stand out to me the way, like, you know, Thanos or you know, or Satana basically stood out, or even the way like they're great looking skills without a doubt. Nothing just like really like I want to play that skill, you know what I mean? Like it wasn't that for me. So overall the characters are there. So now there are some problems. Thanos's uniform is not working as intended. Essentially, he's not getting the plus up on defense effects. But one other good thing about the Thanos uniform is that they also buffed his previous uniform. So we'll go back to Thanos here. And the fact is that this is something I don't think we've seen them do before, but the Wise Harvester uniform has been buffed for PvE. So you essentially have two options with Thanos. You can basically put him in it for PvE using the Wise Harvester, or you can use the Thanos Wind for basically PvP. They also buffed his artifact, which is another benefit because his artifact previously was pretty weak compared to what it is now. That's a good thing. So I'm really excited about that. I'm a little pissed because I'm not a huge fan of the Wise Harvester uniform. So while it's a definitely buff for, you know, PvE, and I'll definitely use him inside PvE, especially with the Black Swan content piece, you know, I wish that we had a little bit there for, you know, Thanos Wins to basically be PvE. And it also brings into the question the things that everybody's asking: custom gears. When are they going to institute a way for us to play characters in both PvE and PvP and be able to quick CTPs to the PvE PvP landscape, so that way when I go play PvP, I can use that, you know, custom gear from PvP and I can use a PvE slot inside of here. I think that they're shooting themselves in the foot by not doing this because the players are asking for it. And on top of that, you know, that's going to incentivize players to try to get more CTPs and maybe go in there and purchase CTPs. So I think they're just missing out on an opportunity here that they really should basically do. Next, the thing is about World Boss. So here we are, World Boss improvements here. I'm loving the fact that we've basically got World Boss splits from Ultimate to Legend. Really cool. It's good, right? Like overall in terms of, you know, basically tracking on getting a character, right? So the Black Swan stage, you essentially need to unlock, her mission is going to require you to do 5 of the Gore, 5 of the Dark Phoenix, and 5 of King the Conqueror in order to unlock her World Boss stage. Now you can pay the crystal cost if you want to basically skip that and basically get right to her, so that way you can unlock her character and get those biometrics. I'm not doing that. It's just not where I'm at right now with, you know, paying for games. But it's an option there for you. I would suggest that you don't end up in the rabbit hole of where a lot of people are, where they're complaining about there's not enough content, but they're paying their way through the content. Like, I mean, depending on how you look at it, you're either paying for the convenience of skipping content, or, you know, hey, like, you're going to complain about something when you pay to skip convenience features that, you know, the grind that other players are having to go through. That's just the nature of it. I love the fact that all of the CTPs are available. They also alleviated my fears in that it's just a plus up chance on those books, but you can receive the other books from the other World Boss Legend characters. Beware, Gore and Infinity Ultron have been extremely nerfed. I mean, these guys are easy on easy day now. I mean, they're just as easy as probably Mephisto and Null. They are highly easy to beat. Depending on how you feel about that is going to change your mind about, you know, look, I'm not expecting Marvel Future Fight to be the AAA game that I sit at home and I play for 2-3 hours on end. It's a mobile game. I'm not expecting mobile games to basically have the difficulty of Lost Ark bosses. I don't want to be thinking about, hey, I'm trying to play this while I'm riding the train, riding the bus, sitting on a John real quick, as most people probably play their mobile games, and I'm having the freaking hardest battle session of my life with King the Conqueror and Gore. So I'm not comparing it to, you know, know, AAA title games in terms of difficulty, because that just doesn't make sense. It's a mobile game. Like, mobile games are definitely growing in terms of their scope, but they're still mobile games. They're about convenience, play, and nickel and dime you. So it is what it is, you know what I mean? But those bosses have definitely been nerfed. Now for Kang and Jean Grey, they've made their I guess their zone outs or whatever, their transitions a lot easier. So like Jean, at least when I played her, she only activated that little, I don't know, the scatter floor maze one time. And then the transitions for Kang are a lot more seamless. Even Gore, his transitions are a lot better as well. You can break through and just kill my man right away instead of having to deal with the transition stages. So it's really easy in terms of bosses. The boss rewards are now giving you actual reason to go in here and actually go up stages. So if you're missing out, for instance, on any of the boss's artifacts, well, guess what? You can jump in here and you can be like, hey, I need the stage 10 rewards, right? So that way I can get the artifact for him. I already did it, but then I can go stage 15 and my first clear rewards might be a box, and then on the next 20 stages will be another version of the artifact of the boss or whatever. So you actually basically have reason to accelerate and actually climb the ladder inside here, which now I'm actually going to do. I'm going to look to clear those stages. You know, how much, I don't know, because obviously Black Swan is going to be offering bonuses over, you know, getting some of the items that are available inside here. So you might end up being like, hey, so you can see these are the unlock challenges basically inside here. I'm not paying that crystal cost to basically skip the content. Doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to me, right? This really doesn't matter. I don't know why this feature was added. The one other feature that they added in here that I really don't like necessarily is it's the upgrade feature to the ISO 8. So the quick upgrade feature, I'm not sure why they took away the complete quick upgrade. Like, I don't want to do a batch upgrade. You know what I mean? Like, it's just a weird new feature that they've basically added, and I don't necessarily know that I like it. You know what I mean? like, it just feels it's just wonky to me. That's the best way I could say it. Like, you can do batch uploads and the stuff like that. It's just, I don't know. So maybe I just need some time to get used to it, and it'll figure it out. So let's take a look over here inside the shop, right? Because we want to wrap up the video with this. So essentially, if you if you want to get the Angel uniform, or the yes, the Angel uniform on Satana. You want to get the Angel uniform on Satana, you're going to have to purchase some stuff, and you need to acquire 30 of those, bonus witcher calls. I always tell you the easiest path is to basically purchase the Angel's Playful Mischief chest. This is usually the easiest path. Basically, you pay the price, and maybe you get some Angel Satana, bios, which in this case I don't think that is necessarily needed, but you also get the crystal rewards inside of here. So that's probably the easiest path to go forward in that respect. It's completely up to you. I'm not necessarily a fan of any of the other ones, but you could also end up with like a uniform upgrade. I think this time around I may end up purchasing the tier 2 advancement pack specifically for Black Swan, basically to get her there, but we'll see. I'm like I said, I'm playing through this right now to basically figure out. Thanos was the only uniform that I essentially purchased at the moment. I plan on doing videos for Thanos inside Otherworld Battle, inside PvE, inside PvE, PvP content. Hopefully they release a fix for them. They've released a fix to fix the ABX. I think there's some other issues that they've basically introduced through the patch. Those things happen, games need to get patched because not everything always works out when you are rewriting code or overwriting code and doing things like that. So I'm willing to give grace. I mean, it was an extremely long update, but it is there. So overall, my impressions of the update, I'm mostly excited about the uniforms and the different looks. I am really happy about the reprieve because, let's be perfectly honest, I don't see anybody basically going in and being like, die hard about like, hey, I want to get Angel up to tier 4. Like, I just don't see it. Like, nobody's gonna convince me that they're that excited by getting Angel to tier 4. Like, it ain't it. Like, I don't see it. I'll talk about it in the Angel, and when I do the Angel video, but I don't see that as like a prime excitement. I believe that he's also available inside of the new tier 4 path. So if you're inside of here, I was choosing Star-Lord because I never leveled him up, and I do like the character. You know, he's available there for you to go tier 4 with as well. So I'm happy for the reprieve, because I'll get, you know, Angel to level 80. Most of the things I've seen is that he's not worth it at level 70. The uniform's not enough a buff to make him a thing at 70. So you're probably going to have to take him to 80 to make him useful basically inside your gameplay. But overall, we'll see where things stand. I'm going to bring you guys content for all 3 of the characters, and hopefully for Black Swan as well. I'm dying to unlock the world boss, and then I'll be giving you guys some content there. Overall, the update's probably like a solid 7, 6, 6.5, 7 for me. It's got enough there for you to basically feel excited about where the game is being developed and where it's going. And I'm kind of excited about that. I do agree with some of the content creators that basically, like, they're spending a lot of time inside World Boss, improving the gameplay that we've already had. I would have loved to see them basically take some time for some of the other game modes, specifically like Dimension Rifts, and how that game mode plays out, because I hate playing that game mode. It's just annoying as hell to me. And then even focus down on maybe bringing back content. Like, I really want them to bring back Danger Room Extreme, for instance. So we'll see where it goes overall in the next few days. But this is my first impressions video. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Remember, hit that like and subscribe button. Until next time, peace.